It will never happen to me. The chances are too slim. I'm in control. Have you ever seen those It Can Wait commercials sponsored by AT&T that encourage you not to text and drive and instead dismiss it by one of these thoughts? When I was a sophomore in high school, I took a class in distracted driving where I learned about the consequences of losing focus when I'm behind the wheels. According to distraction.gov, the official US government's website for distracted driving, a quarter of teens respond to a text message once or more every time they drive. 20% of these teens and 10% of parents admit that they have extended multi-message text conversations while driving. Whether you're part of this statistic or not, many people around you could potentially be distracted or affected by the decisions they make. My name is Sophia Olsen, and today I'm going to tell you a real life story about the effects of distracted driving, explain why there is a problem, give you 5 facts about distracted driving, and give you solutions to avoid it. First, I want to share with you a story of how one of my friends was affected by the use of a cell phone while driving. In the summer of 2012, one of my teammates, Kayla Vera, and 3 of her best friends, Mandy, Brian, and Greg, went on a road trip to California. Mandy and Greg were in the backseat without their seatbelts on, while Brian was driving and Kayla was in the passenger seat. Kayla noticed that Brian was getting a little reckless with his driving and suggested that she would take over. But he refused. A couple of minutes later, Mandy, Greg, and Brian, who was the driver, were all fighting for the phone to change the music. At this point, Brian started to swerve towards the median, and Kayla grabbed the wheel to position the car back to place. They lost control of the car, and it spun into the opposite direction of the traffic, flipped 3 times, and landed upside down. Kayla and Brian had their seatbelts on and fell off onto the roof of the car. They climbed out of the window and found their friends lying on the side of the road. Greg was found with minor injuries, but Kayla found Mandy close to lifeless and struggled to get her to respond. 2 weeks later, Mandy passed away. This moment of distraction ended one life and altered the course of 3 others. Next, I'm going to explain to you what consists of distracted driving and why it is a problem. First, distracted driving involves a number of activities which includes texting, using cell phones or smartphones, eating and drinking, grooming, reading, using a navigation system, watching a video, adjusting a radio or CD player. All of these activities takes your attention and focus away from the wheel. Here are 5 facts about distracted driving. According to U.S. Department of Transportation, drivers in their 20s are 23% of drivers in all fatal crashes, but are 27% of the distracted drivings and 30% of the distracted drivings who are using cell phones in fatal crashes. According to Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, 5 seconds is the average time when that your eyes are off the road while you're texting. When traveling 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to cover the length of a football field blindfolded. Pew Research Center was saying that more than half, 53% of all adult cell phone owners have been on the giving or receiving end of a distracted walking encounter. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration are on the same track. They say that since 2007, young drivers aged 16 to 24 have been observed manipulating electronic devices at higher rates than older drivers. Last, Foundation for Traffic Safety say that federal estimates suggestion that distraction contributes to 16% of fatal crashes, leading to around 5,000 deaths every year. Furthermore, many lives can be affected by the decision of one's persons, and so I'm going to give you some simple and obvious solutions on how to stay focused while driving. Avoid eating in your car, grooming yourself, or looking up maps on your phone while driving. Plan ahead and make time in your schedule beforehand if you know that you need to eat, groom, look up directions, etc. The only speed that is appropriate to do any of these activities is 0 miles per hour. In conclusion, distracted driving is selfish because it cannot only affect you, but it can also affect other helpless drivers or passengers. Just like in Kayla's story, many people can be affected by one person's decision. Distracted driving has many effects on one's attention and leads to 9 deaths a day and makes people 23 times more likely to get into accidents. It is simple to avoid by making more time in your schedule or pulling over when necessary. The choice is yours, and the choice is yours to make every day. Is sending that text more important than the 4-year-old girl's life in the car next to you? Is putting on your mascara more important than yours? Is eating that to-go meal more important than your loved one next to you? Will you put your life as well as others in risk due to these choices you make behind the wheel? It can wait. Thank you for listening.